You know that we are still young, so don't be dumb. Don't trust anyone, 'cause you only live once. You only live once, that's the motto. So take a chill pill and ease off the throttle. Never go to loud clubs, 'cause they're bad for your ears. Your friends will all be sorry when you can't hear. And what's up, everybody?
Hello.
We just got out of a press screening for Manchester by the Sea. This movie got a ton of buzz at Sundance this year, the film festival in January. It's directed by Kenneth Lonergan. I'm not too familiar with his work, but the movie stars Casey Affleck as well as Michelle Williams.
Affleck plays a guy named Lee, and his nephew is Patrick. His brother Joe, played by Kyle Chandler, dies, and in the will basically makes
Casey
Lee
Affleck his
the Patrick's guardian.
Sure shows their relationship right after what happened, like for the next few months, but it also does a lot of flashbacks to stuff that happened with Lee and his ex-wife and stuff with Kyle Chandler,
His wife,
and
and his father, and his memories with younger Patrick. This is probably the best movie of the year I've seen.
I would completely agree.
It is the most awkward, pathetic, hilarious, heartwarming, and surprisingly down-to-earth movie I've seen since Room. I completely lost myself in this family, this uncle and nephew, and I legitimately felt like these were real people.
You compared it to Room. I was going to compare it to Boyhood. It felt like Boyhood if Boyhood, instead of taking place over 12 years, took place over 4 months. It's so uncinematic. There's no huge emotional moment that you would see in like a movie. This is just like life.
There's never a moment when Casey Affleck has what we like to call an Oscar speech.
Right.
Where...
But he should, because if this man does not fucking win Best Actor, I'm gonna whip my dick out.
Okay. Cocks out for Casey? Is that the new hashtag?
Yeah.
Ling! This movie does a fantastic job of putting you in the mind of this main character without doing much. He doesn't burst out all of his demons, and the movie is so smart in revealing each little piece of information at the right time in the story.
Before we go any further, spoiler alert, if you've not seen this movie yet, and
you probably haven't,
you click on the time code right here and you get to our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars. Come back, and then when you've seen this movie, come back and watch our spoiler section. It'll be fantastic. You'll learn so much, and you'll learn stuff about the movie, you'll learn stuff about us, and maybe you'll learn something about yourself too, because we're so insightful. The movie starts off, you're seeing Casey Affleck's like daily life, because he's a janitor in Boston. Side note, I was born in California, we live in Texas now, but I spent a lot of my youth in New Hampshire, which is right near
How accurate was this?
This was a very good representation of...
Representation?
Yeah, I get it, I'm retarded. When Casey Affleck is, he's doing repairs and he's talking about, like how the snow will pile up and leak between floors. Like, that shit happened to me. It was obvious that Kenneth... whatever his face.
Lonergan?
Either he's from Boston or either he's from Boston or he really fucking did his research, because
it's the same way David Mackenzie added the little touches in Hell or High Water.
Exactly.
Despite being fucking English.
I just feel like Casey Affleck has just such of a maturity to him as a performer.
Casey Affleck is a master at letting you know everything he's thinking with his face. You can see his mind working.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody tries to get him to be more amicable and be more open, you can tell that there's a part of him that wants to, but then there's a part of him that's trying to pull back. And you find out throughout later the movies all the shit he's gone through.
Yeah, which is like, again, it was hard to watch.
Because this movie is so depressing, the movie is also hilarious.
There's some funny shit in this
Holy
movie.
fucking shit. This is the best awkward humor I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and it's so close to being uncomfortable, but it's like just uncomfortable enough to be hilarious. Lucas Hedges, Patrick is like, he's like freaking out about, he's putting his dad in the freezer.
Dude. The arrangements of getting Joe in the ground are way too difficult.
The ground's too cold for them to dig.
Like, they can't dig.
So they're gonna basically put him in this freezer thing, until spring, where they can bury him.
Patrick starts complaining about this. He goes, it kind of freaks me out, them putting him in a freezer. About an hour later in the movie, he goes downstairs for a midnight snack, opens the freezer, and all this frozen meat falls out. And he starts putting the meat back in the freezer one by one. And then when he comes to the last package, he stops, the freezer door open, and it's still kind of swinging a little bit, and he's constantly picking up meat. I'm imagining a punchline of the door coming close and Patrick hitting his head on it.
Yeah.
And it happens, and it's funny. But then you see him cry and start to lose it. When he saw the frozen meat, he thought of his dad. He's never had a big grieving breakdown moment until now.
And then you get, like, my favorite line in the movie, when he's talking about it with Casey Affleck, he's like, what do you want me to do? Throw out all the fucking chicken?
If you're gonna freak out every time you see frozen chicken, I think we gotta have a problem.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
It's so dry.
And you could call him an asshole for it, but that's just the way this movie rolls.
And that's the way he emotes as a character. He's trying to fix this, woman's shower, and she starts complaining. She's like, blah, 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 it doesn't work, blah, 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 I'm a bitch, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to explain, like, no, like, I can't fix this, the plumber has to come in and look at this. And she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And basically, he just tells her, like, shut the fuck up, like, get out of the way. And she's like, how dare you talk to me like that? You should leave. And he's like, okay. And she's like, why aren't you leaving? He's like, because you're standing in the fucking way. As somebody, we both work, and there are so many people that I've just wanted to go off on, like Casey Affleck did on this fucking bitch in this movie. I wanted to stand up and, like, give this man a hug.
Casey Affleck has issues with his ex-wife, played by Michelle Williams, who's
Very good in this movie.
yeah, fantastic in this. And she, you see their life together. They have 3 kids. They have a happy marriage. You know, he makes out with her while she's sick, a scene that is pretty much me and Brittany. You see him kind of arguing with her at 2 in the morning while he and his friends are drunk and leave screaming, playing ping pong. One of the more emotional scenes in the movie happens. Keep in mind, when these scenes happen, the more serious ones, they're balanced with awkward humor. Not here. You see Casey Affleck walk down a hill, just walking, drunk off his ass, go to a mini mart, see him get groceries with some beer, walk back up the hill, and in a cut, before you know it, his house is on fire.
And you just see his face and the reflection of the flames.
The ambulance is already there. His wife is screaming, sobbing. You see the firefighters pull out body bags of his 2 oldest daughters. Oh God, dude, if they would have, because the 3rd one is a newborn. And like, that part of the scene ends with a firefighter kind of lifting up what I assume are pieces of the crib.
The movie doesn't use that much music, but when it does use music, it's extremely effective. You can just hear the faint echo of dialogue. Immediately, you're in with this character because you're almost experiencing it in a daze like he does.
And then you see Casey Affleck at the police station talking about what happened. He couldn't turn on the central heating because it would disturb his wife's sinuses, so he put some fire logs in the fireplace and decided to walk down to the mini mart to get more beer. 10 minutes on his walk down, he wasn't sure whether he put a screen on the fireplace or not. but he kept going because, you know, he thought it'd be fine.
And he was drunk.
He's basically responsible for burning down his house and killing his 3 children.
And he's expecting them to, like, just arrest him or something, but they're saying, you know, basically, you made a stupid mistake, but...
We can't arrest you for forgetting to put a screen on the fireplace. And the look on Casey Affleck's face says everything. He feels like he has broken this universal law, this moral code, that he deserves to be punished for his sin.
The rest of the movie, he's just punishing himself.
Yeah.
And that's his central dilemma, is he doesn't want to take care of Patrick because he doesn't feel like he can handle the responsibility.
And to be honest with you, he really can't. The end of that police station scene, you see him pull an officer's gun and threaten to, not threaten, but he's trying to load the gun and shoot himself in the head. I think this is a story about a guy who suffered, but ultimately trying to get better.
Right.
And he's trying to make amends with the past, make amends with his family, make amends with himself.
And the movie doesn't tie this up in a bow. It doesn't tie it up perfectly.
No, it doesn't. And I'm so glad it didn't.
George is a friend of Kyle Chandler's, who works on these boats with, these boats with him, and Patrick works on it with him now. And basically, he ends up adopting Patrick. George does. From the beginning, Casey Affleck's like, I was the second. I was never meant to be the guardian. I was the backup. He initially suggests that George takes it. And so you almost think that, like, if this was like a huge, big, cliche Hollywood movie, in the end, he'd be like, no, I have the responsibility. I will take care of Patrick and become a better man. Oscar speech. But it doesn't go like that. George ends up adopting Patrick.
It's very much a decision that Lee makes, because throughout this movie he has tiny outbursts. He's an alcoholic, and he likes to resolve any swelling of emotions. There's a scene where his ex-wife sees him. She's moved on, had a baby with another man, but she apologizes to him. We never find out what exactly she said to him after the house burned down, but it's not good.
Right.
And it ripped their relationship apart, and she apologizes, and she wants to make amends, but this flow of emotions Lee can't do it. The next scene, you see him in a bar, and just downed his, probably 5th beer, and some guy bumps into him, and the way Lee lets out his emotions is to start fistfights. It's not a healthy one, and he realizes that, and he realizes he has a lot of steps to go. If you kind of suffer from this, like mental turmoil and whatnot, it makes perfect sense. And this doesn't give a Hollywood ending. It's one of those movies that isn't for
where you live.
Yeah, it isn't for everyone. I think it's awkward and
it may be
jumpy.
A lot for somebody to handle. Like,
yeah, it's extraordinary.
If you've gone through something similar to what this character does, it could,
It's a tough movie to watch, but I think it's an essential movie to watch, because you don't see stories like this done this well.
So if you clicked on the time code, welcome back to our non-spoiler section.
To our floating camera version of Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, the
camera's fucking up again.
Yeah, so we're just doing this.
This one kind of hit me where I live. It's been a tough couple of months. Just life. I like that the film is about a man trying to be better and reconcile his faults with the past, others, and himself in a way that is so believable and realistic that it felt like a guy that I know down the street, or myself. And
Daniel Barris.
Yes.
Film critic at large. Sexual monster. I cut that part out.
I'm imagining like the critical quote on the trailer. Like if you showed the trailer and it shows all these serious things, and then it says tongue puncher in the fart box, Daniel Barrios. Casey Affleck. This is, I think, the first thing I've seen him in, and I'm totally on board for the rest of life. I'm a fan. Lucas Hedges, keep an eye out for this kid, because what he does with this material is so incredible. Best supporting actor over Jeff Bridges.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I think Jeff Bridges might win it, but I think it's a crime if this kid doesn't get a nomination.
Yeah.
If not the win.
Yeah.
I really love him. Michelle Williams is probably going to get nominated because she's gotten nominated for a lot of shit. I didn't think she was to the caliber, but that's honestly because I don't think the movie gives her...
Yeah, she's not in the movie a ton.
She has a little Oscar-y speech, and I think her speech is great.
Yeah.
Just, as far as scores go... 6. This is the best movie of its kind. Watch Manchester by the Sea. This is the best movie of the year.
Put the camera back there. Are you ready?
Gonna do it. Gonna do the Pacific Rim mind melt because I'm giving this 6 stars.
Oh fuck! He finally did it!
6 star.
God
Mother.
damn it!
Yeah.
This is the best reviewed movie in HalfKocked history, motherfuckers! Dude! HK verdict.
Let's bring it in. Bring it in.
Fucking fireworks!
The central dynamic between Lucas Hedges and Casey Affleck I thought was even better than Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay, as great as they were. And, you know, fuck you too. It's the most powerful and realistic film I've seen since Boyhood. It's the best movie I've seen so far this year, and I hope that there's a better movie that comes out by the end of the year, but if there's not, I'm gonna, you know, have no shame in saying that this is the best film of 2016.
Well, what a way to end this episode.
Oh my.
When does this thing come out? We need to tell people
November 18th.
November 18th?
Yeah, so we're gonna be bothering everybody we work with for a month to go see this.
For Thanksgiving weekend, after you take the kids to go see Moana, please do yourself a favor and check this out.
Stop seeing Doctor Strange and Fantastic Beasts for the 8th time and go watch like a real movie.
If you liked our rambly nonsense video, there's a like button down there. You can click the like there. For more content and to be the first to find out about it, you can click the subscribe button. Let us know what you think. If you've seen Manchester by the Sea in a press screening or in festivals or whatnot, let us know what you think. When you see the movie, come back to this video and let us know what you think. We've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. You can like, follow, and tweet us there. We've got Liam's blog.
I'm gonna be reviewing this, and I try to review every movie I see, so some of the stuff we don't cover on the main show you can find there.
Fuck yeah. Chris Stuckman gave Ouija 2 an A. I'm tempted. I might just go see that piece of shit just to see what the fuck he's talking about. That movie's directed by Mike Flanagan, who did Oculus and Hush. 2 horror movies I fucking hate.
He liked both of those, so maybe.
Oh, shit. Maybe. Maybe. I don't fucking know. Anyway, we're gonna head home. I'm gonna have some dinner because I've been pumping myself full of sugar for the past 4 hours.
My mom's yelling at me to get home because I'm supposed to be home at 11, so.
Oh, fuck, I gotta speed down the highway then.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna avoid getting chased by the cops. So, y'all go check out Manchester by the Sea when it comes out November 18th. And we'll see you guys later on HalfKocked. Good night.
Don't vote for Trump in the